and hopefully we'll have a conversation with Prince Rama Varma, who's coming from India to sing in a concert on Sunday. You're tuned to 3CR and we're listening to Carnatic music, the sound of Carnatic music from the Iyer brothers, and this track is from their CD Soulful Strings. And online from India I have Prince Rama Varma, who, as I indicated earlier, is coming to Australia to perform on this coming Sunday. So it's a great honour to have you talking to us here at 3CR, Prince Rama Varma.
It's my pleasure.
And thank you so much for calling. The audience for Musique Sans Frontières is quite a mixed audience, and so the genre of Carnatic singing is not something that most of them would be familiar with. I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about the singing that you do.
We have two systems of classical music in India, from North India and South India. And what I do, which is called Carnatic music, that is from the southern part of India. And we have the same 12 notes that you have in Western music, except that we use some oscillations also. Instead of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, we can shake the re a little bit like do, re, like that. So that sounds a little strange to Western ears for the first time. But one kind of gets used to it after some time.
Indeed, it takes a while, I think, for people with our musical backgrounds to learn to listen to those refinements, because it's very fine what you do.
Yes, but for us, for example, if we listen to opera singing and the vibrato, the first time we hear a Wagner soprano singing, it might sound very strange to Indian ears also.
I'm sure.
But I think if the listener makes an effort, we can access the good things in all kinds of music, I feel.
Oh, I think, yes, absolutely. I speak for myself because I've been listening to Carnatic music now, I suppose, for about 10 years, and it's been a long learning process for me to...
You listen to Carnatic music for 10 years and you live to tell the tale. That's very brave.
My guest on air is Prince Rama Varma, who is a Carnatic singer from India. He's coming to Australia and he'll be performing on this coming Sunday at the Rowville Auditorium. Yes, I have lived to tell the tale, but I can't say that I'm very well informed about the nature of the Carnatic music, Prince Rama Varma. So maybe you could tell us a little about the songs that you sing when you perform for an audience.
Yes, in fact, most of the compositions were composed around 200 years ago, which is very, very strange because around the same time that Mozart and Beethoven lived in the West, we had, just like Bach, Mozart and Beethoven, we have three great composers who lived at the same time, all around late 1790s, 1800 at that time. But people have been composing before them and after them also. But the maximum number of compositions performed in the usual repertoire is from 200 years ago. I kind of make it a point to include ancient compositions which are 600 years old and compositions even from the 20th and 21st century. A little more democratic in that. And suppose we sing for 1 hour, only around 20 minutes would be the composition. The 40 minutes would be improvisation. So we have this fantastic form of improvisation in Indian classical music where we can just take the 7 notes and play around with them. So, for example, I don't know how much time we have, so I have to...
well, this is so fascinating, so do go on.
Yeah, so suppose we take the scale do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. We call it sa, ri, ga, ma, pa, ga, ni, sa. And we have several scales which the Indian name is raga. So we remove the 4th and 6th notes from do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. So 1, 2, 3, 4 we remove, 5 and 6 we remove. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 1. So that we called it sa, ri, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. So sa, ri, ga, pa, ni, sa, sa, ni, pa, ga, ri. So this is an Indian raga, very bright and easier to appreciate than more heavily oscillated ragas. So we can just do sa, ri, ga, ri, ri, ga, pa, ga, pa, ga, ri, sa, ri, ga, pa, ga, ri, sa, ri, ga, pa, ni, pa, ga, ri, ga, pa, ni, sa, ni, pa, ni, sa, ri, sa, ni, pa, ni, sa, ri, ga, sa, ri, sa, ni, sa, ri, ga, pa, ga, ri, sa, ni, pa, pa, ga, sa, ri, ri, ga, sa, sa, ri, ri, ni, ni, sa, ga, pa, pa, ri, ri, sa, sa, ri, ri, ni, ni, sa, sa, pa, pa, sa, ni, sa, pa, pa, ni, ga, sa, ni, pa, pa, ni, ga, sa, pa, ri, ri, pa, ga, sa, pa, ri, ri, ga, sa, sa, ri, ga, ga, pa, pa, ni, ni, sa, sa, ri, ri, ga, ga, pa, ni, sa, ri, ga, pa. This is just for 1 hour or 3 hours I can go on. Without thinking, and when you are hearing it, that's the same time I am also hearing, because I don't know what comes next. It's completely unplanned and spontaneous. So that is a big luxury. Suppose I am a musician and I have a concert and I don't remember the song, means I can just improvise for 1 hour.
That is wonderful. That was wonderful to hear you singing. That was just marvellous. So so you can improvise at any point in the song. What are you singing about when you sing one of these pieces?
Almost 95% of the compositions are devotional, addressed to various ancient Hindu gods, and some are philosophical. It will be just general statements about life. For example, if you help somebody, they'll hurt you. or if you do something good, no good deed goes unpunished, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So,
right.
but they're universal truths, which if you translate into English, it could be from any part of the world, written at any point of time. So
I
we
see.
have some, but generally it will be devotional. And suppose we are singing a song on one of the popular Hindu gods, Krishna, for example. First half of the song would be a description about how beautiful he is, how handsome he is, how talented he is, how generous, how courageous, how valiant, and all these adjectives. And at the end, it will be like, you are the only salvation for me. If you don't help me, then who else is there? This kind of stuff. So please take care of me, protect me. This is like a caricature of the general sense of the lyrics.
Yeah, right.
Most of the time.
So I see.
But the poetry changing from, and the language is used. I am from a part of India where we speak a language called Malayalam.
Yeah.
And most of the compositions we sing are in Sanskrit and in Telugu. And most singers won't know either Sanskrit nor Telugu. So it will be kind of singing in a foreign language. But now, when my generation and some of the younger generation, we are taking the effort to learn the meaning of the song, and even if you don't know the language. In fact, I speak English better than I speak most of the languages in which I sing. So that's
that is so interesting. I didn't understand that people didn't necessarily understand the words of the songs they were singing.
Yes, and that is a big handicap, because there are certain songs which would be where the composer would be really crying and lamenting and weeping, but the singer might sing it in a very happy, aggressive, fast, upbeat way, which would completely go against the sense of the lyrics.
Yes,
so,
I see.
I have been blessed because my teacher was also a very, very great person who followed the meaning of the lyrics much before many others did. And now with the internet and Google, many kind souls have uploaded the lyrics and their meaning in English of many, many popular songs. So we can just search lyrics and meaning, and we would get the lyrics and meaning of most songs. But then the listeners who have been accustomed to hearing a song sung in a certain way, wrongly, then when we suddenly sing it correctly, they would say, this sounds different. Why is this guy sounding like he's crying when we have heard the same song sung in a happy...
Sounding happy.
Yeah.
That is so interesting. So in a way, some of these songs are keeping old languages alive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sanskrit is one of the main... In fact, many Indian languages are born from Sanskrit. It's like one of the ancient... Like Tamil, Sanskrit, like Latin and Greek. If you know those languages, then automatically many other languages become very easy for you, because the root words will be from that.
Yeah. And I am aware that Sanskrit has given roots to a whole range of languages across the globe. Yeah. Well,
in fact, in India, because of so much Western influence, we have Indian children who have never left their hometown in India, but you hear their accent, you feel they've just dropped down from Manhattan or some place like that. But
that's happening here too, I hate to say.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think places in Germany, for example, there are many institutions which have kept Sanskrit alive. And a time might come where Indians would have to go to Germany to study Sanskrit.
Oh dear, that would be very sad. Let's hope that never comes. My guest here on 3CR is Prince Rama Varma. Prince Rama Varma is coming to Australia. He's currently in India, so this is a wonderful opportunity for an international interview. He's coming to Australia for a concert this coming Sunday. So that's the 9th of September, and the concert will take place in Rowville at the auditorium in Rowville at 6 p.m, and I'll give you more information about that in a moment. Prince Rama Varma, you're not coming alone. You're bringing some musicians with you?
Yes, I have a violinist and an Indian drum. It is called a mridangam. So we have a violinist and a percussionist.
And
or three of us are. The violinist has visited Australia earlier, but the drum person and me, for both of us, it's the first time.
so this is your first Australian visit.
Yes.
That's very exciting.
Fortunately, I follow MasterChef Australia on TV, so because of that, I can understand the Australian accent a little bit.
Oh, good.
Initially, I couldn't.
Oh, dear. Well, we seem to be managing okay at the moment.
Well, I'm sure it works both ways with my Indian accent also.
You're very clear to me, I have to tell you. Can you tell me, when you're singing one of these pieces, so obviously the mridangam will keep a rhythm going for you, although I think that Indian rhythm players engage very closely with the melodies, and
Yes.
and the pace of the song can change over the course of the piece, can't it?
Yeah, well, in the North Indian system, they start very slow and it gets slowly they accelerate and it ends in a crescendo very fast. But in South Indian system, once we start a song at a certain tempo, we just have to maintain the same speed till the end. But within the same framework, rhythmic framework, we have to create a crescendo. That we do. I mean, if you come for the concert, I'll show you. For example, we have these patterns of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. So these patterns, like that, it becomes shorter and shorter, and it gives the illusion of becoming faster while actually we are maintaining the same tempo.
Yeah,
And just like we have the 7 notes in music, for percussion also they have, instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, they have takadimi, for example. It's just the sound. It has no other meaning than a syllable used to demarcate the
to mark
sound.
rhythm.
So
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be taka takita, taka takit. Or 7 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, takita, takadimi, takita, takadimi. And they, it is not my department, but I'm just giving you an example. So they have so that is what they'll be playing. Or so this kind of very, very fascinating, very clear, sharp, and super fast rhythmic patterns they play. And it is one of the strongest systems of rhythm in the entire world, and many, many percussionists from even North India and from other parts of the world have been benefiting a lot from the South Indian system of the percussion.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. It's such a discipline to learn that vocalization so quickly. Marvellous. So can you tell me then about the relationship between the voice and the violin in the context of the song?
Yes. Violin also, we sit on the floor and rest the violin against the chest rather than hold it under the chin.
Yeah.
So that gives the both the hands complete freedom. So when we do these oscillating, sliding, typical, then the violin also, same thing he can play. So we have adopted the violin in a perfect way to suit South Indian classical oscillations.
Yeah,
in fact,
right.
violin is the permanent accompaniment. And my violinist in particular, he's so amazing that when he plays with me, I feel that one more myself is singing. It's like 2 people are singing.
Oh, okay.
So beautifully he plays.
And does he sing? Does he play the same melody that you're singing?
Yes, exactly.
Ah, right. Yeah.
And we have a drone. The drone will give the tonic and the dominant, the main basic note and the fifth. That would be going on all the time.
Yeah,
so
right.
Many people feel Indian music does not have harmony. It has just one note at a time. But actually, all the notes, suppose da, 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 that drone. So suppose I am singing I am only singing but da and da will be anyway going on in the background. So
Yes.
it's kind of soaked in a less obvious and more subtle kind of harmony.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Well, this has been fascinating, absolutely fascinating. I've never.
For me also, this is the first time I'm giving a lecture demonstration on an international call in a radio station. It's a new
Fantastic.
experience for me also.
Well, it was a very
But you're
clear.
welcome to. Thank you so much. You're most welcome to look me up on youtube.com, where there are many of my videos, not only performance, but some lecture videos and also. In fact, I'm coming to Australia because the organizers saw my videos on YouTube. Most places I get invited to these days happen through these YouTube videos, where they
Yes.
find that, oh, this guy is talking clearly and singing nicely. Let's call him.
Yes, indeed. And Prince Rama Varma, although you haven't been to Australia until now, and you'll be here on Sunday, you have performed in many other parts of the world, I believe.
Yes.
Which?
I've been probably closest to Australia would be Singapore.
Oh, yes, okay.
I've been to Singapore and Malaysia, and not only for performances. In fact, in Australia also, it's on Sunday that I have a concert, but on 6th and 7th, I have 2 teaching sessions.
Workshops,
So, in fact, I have traveled to many places without concerts, just for classes also.
Yes, indeed.
Then I'll be traveling alone.
Ah, right, okay.
And without my accompanist. Yeah.
And people can learn the vocalization if they come to you in these workshops.
Yes, it's a kind of democratic format that I normally follow, that even a person who's never heard Indian classical music should be able to benefit something in some way or the other. But there are certain places where they call me to teach only advanced students. Then, of course, the menu would be different.
Yes, right. Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time in Europe during my younger days. I used to spend around 2 years in Paris and 6-7 years in Amsterdam, and 2 years in London. So that was from late 1990s till around 2006.
Yes,
so that
right.
is when I discovered, more than teaching music, I learned a lot about jazz and Western classical music, and of course different kinds of food. In India, at that time, we had not even heard of sushi, for example. So I discovered sushi in Europe. Now we get it in India also. So it was a learning experience because of which I physically developed a rounded personality, one could say.
They always say that travel broadens the mind.
Absolutely, and the body also, very much.
Well, I hope we can offer you something interesting when you come to Australia.
I really hope so. Yeah,
and I
really
think
hope so.
People will be really looking forward to the opportunity to hear your singing. So that concert takes place in Rowville on this coming Sunday at 6 o'clock. That's Sunday the 9th of September, and I will give you some more information in a moment. Prince Rama Varma, thank you very much indeed for this conversation. It's been an honour for us at 3CR to have you talking to us.
My pleasure, absolutely.
Thank you.
I hope you'll come for the concert also.
I will come to the concert. And we might go back now to a little more music from the Iyer brothers, but thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.